Welcome to the Worst Movie Ever Made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind, to find the worst movie ever made. I am your host, Chris Hockman, joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci, and
Hello.
Bob Hassick of The Worst Movie Ever Made. That is right. He has joined our team. He won the pool stick fight with another former guest to the death, and now he has joined our little team. So thank you for joining us, Bob, and we're glad to have you on board.
Oh, same. And it was quite a battle. I can't believe I came out victorious.
Yeah, we made it.
Hey, Rob,
it,
why
guys.
are you doing this?
Well, first of all, I'm doing this to. I'm drinking Coca-Cola, so I just got to make sure the logo's facing the camera at every given moment. And that's because we're talking about the movie Hackers, in which they did that in every scene.
Yeah, they really did. There was a lot of Coke all over the set, and the beverage as well.
Yeah.
So let's jump into it, because now that there are permanently three of us, I'm going to try to keep the pace kind of quick. So I'm going to pop right into bad reviews, if that's okay with you two, unless you have anything else you want to say before we get started.
Let's just get our fingers wet.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Maitland McDonough, who we've featured before from TV Magazine, says, Still odder is the movie's sexual worldview, which is simultaneously infantile and fetishistic. Boys wear rubber, lipstick, and spandex, but don't seem to have a sexual bone in their unmuscled bodies.
Okay.
It's true. I mean, the outfits that they wear in this movie are they're out there. I think they were trying to go for some kind of trend setting style, but I don't know what that is.
Not me either.
I think if you watch Party Monster with Macaulay Culkin, you might have an idea what they were going for.
Okay. Aaron, my wife. Rob, you saw it? You saw that one?
I've seen clips from it. I haven't seen it. I just saw the trailer, and I know like they got the fashion sense that's very similar. Yeah,
because I've also seen bits, but Aaron saw the whole movie, and she said it's an experience.
Okay.
It is.
All right, I'm gonna have you guys. I'm gonna have you guys guess who the next person I'm pulling the review from. I'll give you a hint. He's from the Chicago Sun-Times.
All right.
He says Jolie and Miller, a British newcomer, bring a particular quality to their performances that is convincing and engaging. He also gave this movie a 75 out of 100. You want to go ahead and guess?
Gene Shalit. No.
There's no way it's Ebert.
No.
It's Ebert.
Oh my God.
At 75, he generally liked the movie.
Is this one of those things where it's going to be really anachronistic and we're looking at it through the lens of today and it was really cutting edge, but we just didn't appreciate it because we watched it in 2022?
No.
Okay.
I think he was a boomer that bought every line of bullshit that they threw at him.
Got it.
Oh, that's fair.
Jargon.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, Rob, YouTube comments. You got any?
Yeah, I'm gonna lightning round through 5 of them real quick.
Oh, okay, cool.
Man, I wish they had made a sequel in 1999 right before Millennium when Y2K panic was at its height. Number 1. Number 2, the Rotten Tomatoes percentage for this movie is damn near insulting. It's a masterpiece. Literally one of the best cult films ever.
Oh my God.
The 90s concept of computer technology, always entertaining and very nostalgic. And my favorite, underrated, the lifestyle, the fashion, the drip.
The drip. Yeah. On who?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
All right. Test number 1. The worst of its kind. So we take 5 movies suggested to us by the streaming services that we get the movie from, and we take their critic scores on Rotten Tomatoes, average them, and then compare them to the movie in question. This week it is Hackers, and we also decide by looking at the numbers if it's the worst out of all of those, critic score-wise. So test number 1, the worst of its kind.
Is this film the best of the worst or the worst of its kind?
Okay, there are a couple that I haven't seen. I'm curious to see if you guys have seen a couple of these. Antitrust with Tim Robbins was the biggest name, but it looked like he was maybe even a cameo. Have you guys seen that one?
No.
There's a theme. It's like very future tech, but like 90s, you know?
Okay.
Got a 20.
I imagine.
Right. You got a 24%.
Oh.
Gone in 60 Seconds. I've actually not seen that with Cage.
That's great.
You like it?
Yeah.
I only heard the soundtrack.
In the action adventure way, it's like I'm done doing it. Okay, one last heist. It's like one of those like it's derivative, but it's fun.
I don't want to.
Was that a remake?
What's up?
Yeah, I think it was. It jumps out to me that it is, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember reading that when it came out.
I don't want to tell you the score, Rob.
Probably not good.
25.
Yeah, it's a 25% movie. I just like it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I have plenty of those. Johnny Mnemonic with
Never heard of it.
Yeah, that's Keanu Reeves. I know it. I've seen bits. I've not seen the whole thing.
It got a 19, so maybe it'll be on the pod at some point. Tron 1982. So it gets a little better here. That's Jeff Bridges. You guys like that one or?
It's okay. I mean,
I loved it when I first saw it, and I haven't seen it since then.
Yeah, I imagine that the graphics are a little rough now, but probably really innovative then. Got a 71.
Okay.
So that's going to help boost our average up a little bit. And then the Net. It turns out there's like 20 movies named The Net. So it took me a little scrolling on Rotten Tomatoes to find the Sandra Bullock one.
Yeah.
That got a 42. I haven't seen that one either.
It's the thing where if I had to put it against Hackers, I would say Hackers is the better movie.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it almost made my list of possible choices for this season.
Wow. Okay.
Hackers actually it got the tech better. It made like Hackers is a bad movie, but it made kind of somewhat logical sense in some ways.
Yeah.
But like that was just like plugging AOL into Ask Jeeves and just like trying to figure it out, you know?
Yeah, it's more like 1 of every 5 hit instead of 1 of every 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Woo. The average for all of those, a 36.2, which is really bad. That's a very low average. Hackers, you guys want to guess?
35?
Good guess.
17.
31.
All right.
Higher than I thought it deserved, personally. It is.
Man, the moral is do not attempt to make a tech movie.
Yeah,
ever.
It is a negative of 5.2, but it is not the worst of its kind. That was Johnny Mnemonic at a 19, which is a fair amount worse. So that intrigued me because we love bad movies here. I was like, I'm gonna have to see that one, I think. Plus, I like Reeves, but it's early in his career, so he's probably not very well seasoned at that point.
It's like Bill and Ted era, isn't it?
Probably in there.
It's post Bill and Ted, pre almost everything else.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Everything that mattered. All right, let's move it on to test number 2, the plot pitch. So you guys are movie executives, producers, what have you. I'm a guy trying to sell you on the script that I got. I'm kind of the middleman for the the movie company, trying to sell it to you guys to get you guys to pay for it and make it, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. So let's do test number 2, the plot pitch.
Hey, God, hey, man. Hey, what? You want to hear my movie idea? No. 3, 2, 1, go.
Guys, check it out. You have the internet, right? You know how hackers can get into a computer system by hooking up a computer to a payphone? Well, what if that new super hot, lean and sexy Hollywood up-and-comer, Matthew Lillard, was doing the hacking? He leads a merry band of gender-fluid, high-IQ high school hackers on a quest to end the plague. Fisher Stevens has agreed to play the online security officer, the Plague, and he frames our techno-teens for a virus he implanted on his own system. He's even got the backing of the Secret Service. Our wacky band of whiz kids are going to prison if they can't out-hack the Plague. A 20 million, guys. Oh, and John Voight's daughter is in it, too.
Well, last time I checked, Magic is in. So if we can somehow get Penn Jillette to do a small role, we'll fork over the money to get this lifted.
Yes. Okay.
Well, you're on your own because I heard Fisher Stevens, and last thing I saw him in was Super Mario Brothers, and I didn't think it was all that good. So if that's your main villain, I'm out.
Okay. Star grade for the plot pitch, so I know how to pitch a little better next time.
I'll go 3.
I'm gonna go 2, just because John Voight's not nice to look at. I can't imagine his daughter is.
Fair. All right. So what is that then?
It's 2.5.
You guys said 3 and 2.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was writing it down. I believe that I would have been able to do that math if I was listening there, but who knows? All right. So we're going to move it on to the worst dialogue, which is our third test. Here we go. 10-1. Worst lines of dialogue for the movie, all the way to the best of the worst, which is still no, it's flipped. It's flipped. What am I talking about? The best of the worst is 10. The worst of the worst is 1. Right?
Yes.
I think I have my head.
I think so.
All right. Let's do test number 3, the worst dialogue.
The worst movie ever made presents the worst dialogue ever made.
Gotta get my head on straight here. I'm just so excited to have Bob on permanently.
Oh yeah. And we got some really great dialogue to go through as well.
Oh, do we ever?
Yeah.
All right, number 10. Hal, who you just mentioned, is Penn Jillette, right? He's the guy in the control room who calls up Fisher Stevens' character, and he says, "Mr. Belford," and Eugene says back, "My name is the Plague," which had me laughing because I don't know what it is with the aliases and how proud of them they are, but he is hired by this company as Eugene Belford, but he's making everyone in the company call him the Plague, which to me is really funny.
It's on South Park when they summon Edgar Allan Poe's ghost, and he's like, "My name is Night Pain." He's all goth.
No, I think it is very funny though that like no, you hired me and are paying me lots of money. Please call me a deadly disease.
Right. Yeah. Something you don't want spreading all over your company.
That's right.
All right. To continue on the nickname theme, number 9 here. Yeah. Acid Burn to Crash Override. That's right. I'll be using their aliases. Right. This is in the beginning when they're having a cassette tape battle. Where trying to select the cassette tape with different pickers in the TV station, because you can apparently do that. Acid Burn types in Acid Burn says, which is SEZ, leave B, the letter B, the letter 4, and then you are expunged. So Acid Burn says to leave before you are expunged. I will swat you like the fly that you are. I will snap your back like a toothpick. This is all being typed into the screen as there's this little battle going on, and someone is playing. I'm wondering which of them put the tape in for the all the fights that were happening on the TV in the background. Didn't really understand that. Could have gone into loopholes. I'm not sure if I wrote it in there, but honestly, who was that just for our viewing pleasure? Or was that actually on the TV station as they were duking it out? I didn't understand.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just not a good start.
No.
Speaking of which, there was a line. Maybe I'll just throw it in as an honorable mention. But in the beginning, you guys remember the lawyer who was he has a superior intelligence, and he used that in an antisocial way. Whatever, the lawyer is explaining to us how badass this hacker is, and then we find out he's 12.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, you're like, oh man, this is rough. This is really cheesy. All right, number 8, the Plague says, "Oh, Dade, try to stay out of trouble, huh?" And then Dade says back to him, "Blow me." And then the Plague says, "Thank you." That was their my super genius bad guy. Here's how we're gonna write for him comeback.
Yeah.
But it's like the thing you say when like you were caught off guard by the blow me and you didn't know what to say. But they gave him like a smile and it was supposed to seem clever or something. I don't know. Did not hit.
Yeah, good on you, Chris, for finding so many lines. I felt like there was an endless amount of bad lines, so you did find some good ones so far. Yeah,
you zeroed in on them.
I had to pick something. You know, I just printed out the script and then threw darts at it on my wall and ran it on. All right. Our first clip of the day comes in number 7. This one is called Passwords.
Anything. All right, right. All right, what are the 3 most common used passwords? Love, secret, and sex. But not in that order necessarily, right?
Yeah, but don't forget God. System operators love to use God. It's that whole male ego thing.
Look, you want to be elite? You got to do a righteous hack. None of this accidental shit.
Yeah, you want a seriously righteous hack. You score one of those Gibsons, man. You know, supercomputers they use to, like, do physics and look for oil and stuff?
Ain't no way, man. Security's too tight. The big iron?
Maybe, but if I were gonna hack some heavy metal, I'd work my way back through some low security and try the back door.
Yeah, but oh man, wouldn't you just love get one of those Gibsons, baby?
Yo, who ate all of my fries?
Joey?
What? No.
You could use you could talk about technical things or specialized things without using like super specific lingo. Like no one else is watching you guys. You're just like sitting around a table. You could just be like,
yeah, it's like when Batman and Lucius Fox are talking.
Yeah.
And he's using his Batman voice.
His Batman voice in private. If I were going to hack some heavy metal, what I do is like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's really lame. But I don't even think back then that those were the most popular passwords. I think probably forever it's been password, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then like your birthday or something like that. Like,
really, were 3-letter passwords ever acceptable? I don't remember.
I think they always had to be at least 6 characters.
I remember we used to have a 4-letter password that was our dog's name, and I want to say that was like the threshold.
Yeah,
right. Because I mean, they can just like a hacker probably has other ways to get in than just using passwords, right? I mean, that they kind of made it seem like that is literally the only way to hack a system.
Yeah,
which really downgrades their technical abilities in my mind, and that's part of the reason why it was one of the clips here. But yeah, basically everything that they said at that table was corny.
Mm-hmm.
And Matthew Lillard didn't sound like he knew what a Gibson did to me either. But that's another writing problem, that they could have been more clear about what a Gibson does and why you would want to hack into it. Because Phantom Freak is like, if you want to do a righteous hack, which I'm assuming is like a hacker morality, like their own morality kind of hack. You get into a Gibson, then they'll explain. There's no I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but there's no like code. There's no hacker code that they're abiding by.
Yeah, and they easily could have brought it up when they were passing the giant textbooks on hacking around the table. Right. They could have been like, "Oh, this is where you learn how to like hack Gibsons and certain." Like they could have one passing line of dialogue could have filled everybody in on what you. Yeah,
right. Know. Who is writing these books?
That really dates the movies, though, having books for tech reference.
Yeah,
right. It's not online.
Nowadays, you print the book, and like by the time it actually gets on the shelves, it's out of date.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Number 6. This is Acid Burn again. Towards the end, where she's like, "This is a real quick one," but they're trying to hack into they're being framed, and they're trying to hack into the worm to figure out whatever to get them off the hook. And Acid Burn is like, use your best viruses to buy us time. What do you think they were going to do?
Yeah.
What are they doing otherwise? What are they actually doing if they're not throwing their best viruses at it? Right.
Yeah.
Number 5, Crash Override. I'm sorry, it's just so bad.
Oh, the names.
He says, and this will not immediately sound too bad, but I'm going to explain why it's number 5.
Okay.
Crash Override says to Acid Burn, if I win, and this is on the second go around about the competition they're having. If I win, you wear a dress on our date. Acid Burn says back, if I win, so do you. The original bet is that they are going on a date. So you're not adding a stipulation to the bet. You are completely changing the bet because now you're both agreeing to go on the date, which was the bet in the first place.
Yes.
Not to mention that if she wins, he also wears a dress. So what is the bet? Because if the only thing that is on the line here is whether or not he wears a dress on their date. Now,
do you know the appropriate way to bet? $20.
Yeah,
there we go. 20. If you win, I give you $20. If I win, you give me $20.
Right.
It's done.
That is the appropriate way to bet. But about a month ago, we were going to heading to the city, and I saw a man in a tutu just standing on the side of the road with a sign that said, "I lost a bet." So
that's pretty good, though. Yeah.
Idiots are still out there making bets.
Yep.
Maybe he bet Crash Override, and Crash Override won, so he had to wear a tutu.
That did sound like a Crash Override bet.
All right, number 4. I'm going to give you give the person for this line credit at the end. God gave men brains larger than dogs so they wouldn't hump women's legs at cocktail parties. Written by Ruth Libby, Acid Burn's mother.
Yeah.
So it's like a nothing statement.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we do have bigger brains than dogs. I don't know. That's probably true. Our brains are pretty big for the size of our bodies. You know, but that means in a very rudimentary way that we're not humping women's legs at cocktail parties. So what is? I mean, is she trying to say that men would be dog-like if they had the same size brain as dogs? Because I just don't really understand.
They meant the opposite, and they didn't proofread it. I don't think.
Right, like men have larger brains than dogs, but they're still humping women's legs at cocktail parties.
Yeah,
Something
I think that's what she meant. Yeah.
It was all a very, very forced attempt to show, that Acid Burn doesn't trust men, and her mom doesn't either. And I don't know. That's pretty much what it was. What the purpose of that it was exposition, character exposition, done cheaply.
Yep.
Agreed. And we'll have more from that scene in our next test. Number 3, Acid Burn. Check it out. There they are. Crash Override says back, razor and blades, they're flakes. And then Acid says back, they're elite. Let's get them. So that whole exchange is like the kind of jargon that they use in this movie that drives me crazy. Razor and blades. So they are really featuring like rollerblades in this movie, and that's all I thought of. It's not.
Yeah.
And these guys, like, if you're really going by razor and blades together, it's odd. And then he calls them flakes, which I'm okay with. That's fine.
Yeah.
But then she uses the term that they repeatedly use in the movie. They're elite, which I think is supposed to sound like. I think they were hoping that would catch on in like American lingo after this. Like,
well, I have some friends that are I have a friend that like in middle school and high school he hacked shit for fun, just like to learn to do shit, and he was into like, what leet speak is. It's like the word leet spelled 1337. People said like woot, and like they had leet speak, and it was like alphanumerics mixed together. Okay. And it was like a weird like thing they use on like IRC and different chat rooms, and I think they were going for that because
that could be.
It's like a really lame way. It's like you've been like pwned. You've been pwned. Came from there, and like all that shit.
Okay. Number 2 is Zero Cool, right?
Yeah.
Same as Crash Override because he's got 2 different aliases. Bob, you want to deliver this line? I think you know what it is.
Oh shoot! Off the top of my head, I can't remember it.
Do you want me to just say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll give you a sec if you want to.
Wait. Was it mess with the best, die with the rest?
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That it's kind of supposed to be good. Good job, Bob. Nicely pulled. from the recesses of your brain. But that is kind of the tagline for the movie.
Yeah.
I guess,
Oh, yeah.
and it's really cheesy, and I don't exactly understand it. You guys, can you lend me some clarification, please, on that line?
It's something badass to say in Quake 3 Arena if you just like fucking smoke someone with a railgun, but aside from that, there's no justification really.
Right.
It's one of those lines that rhymes, and if you think about it too much, then you're already dead again.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, really cheesy. I hated it. It might not have risen to the level of like number 2 on the list if it wasn't supposed to be the number 1 coolest thing in the movie.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that is. I don't know what the number 1 coolest thing in the movie is. I couldn't tell you. And finally, we have a clip for number 1. This one we called Spandex. Rob?
Oh, yes.
Look at that pooper, man. Spandex. It's a privilege, not a right.
Are you kidding me?
I'm going to say my thing about Matthew Lillard right now. I think he's really good at one role, and it's like the silly, like stoner type of guy. We saw him in Senseless and this. I liked Salt Lake City Punk. I liked him in Scream because that movie's kind of like he's playing the character he's meant to be in those movies.
Yeah, he's fine in Scream.
I think I see him now after watching this as like an Ashton Kutcher. He's somebody who's independently wealthy who just likes being in movies for fun, and like he's probably useful behind the scenes. I know he's directed some shit. But when he gets a role, he just like goes on and just like acts like a complete fucking shud and just goes for it. And it's either likable or it's not, depending on the context. It's the same character every time, though.
It's true.
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't believe him as a hacker. That's the only thing that got me in this movie. Like, he totally is exactly that stoner character. So then, but every time they talked about hacking, it seemed like he really had no input. He just wanted to throw out jargon and be silly.
Yes, that's universally stupid, man. he really does just seem like I think they thought there was something really cool about him, and that's why they wanted him in the movie.
Yeah.
But then they were like, do your thing, like you're saying, Rob, like do the Matthew Lillard thing, and it just doesn't fit the kind of character that they're going for.
Yeah, exactly.
Now this is right before Scream, right?
Yeah, Scream was 96 and this was 95. Shot in 94 because I think all the screens in the movie said 94, but it came out in 95.
Was SLC Punk like 93?
No, that was like 97. That was after that was post Scream, I think. Yeah.
Oh wow.
That was just like because it was like an indie film and like they had like Devon Sawa who was like good. He was like from like Final Destination and he was in that weird Idle Hands movie with like the hand that got possessed.
I love Idle
Hands.
Hands.
Have to do that one.
Yeah, and I think there was just good chemistry between like those characters that made SLC Punk so fucking worth watching. But like nothing else aside from Scream, in my opinion, is really worth watching with him in it.
Yeah, agreed. We also had him on with 13 Ghosts.
Yeah.
So this is his third appearance. He's like low key the dark horse, like he's favorite actor of the pod.
He's circling the arena.
He's a bit of a movie killer.
But what we haven't talked about yet is the fact that he says, "Look at that pooper." I know that could have. So the thing for me is that could have been in like 3 or more categories.
Yeah.
I just
agreed.
When he said that, I was like I have this thing where I want to find females attractive. Yeah. So when you call their butts a pooper, it's very anti that for me.
I love that the director, I love that the director, they shot that scene. He's like, that's the one. Moving on, next scene.
Yeah, I had a friend when I was in high school who used to refer to it as a poop cutter. And I used to be like, oh, please, anything but that. Anything but that.
Awful. That's awful.
I've heard deuce slicer, so I got you.
There's an old guy that like kind of stalks in the neighborhood that tells women that they have nice toilets, which I hadn't heard before him. Also, a disgusting way to describe.
All right, so test number 4.
Yes, test number 4 is the worst acting. So what we do here is we just highlight for you, usually in the form of clips, the worst segments of acting in the movie. By each character if we can. So we're going to take it away with test number 4, the worst acting.
Test number 4, the worst acting. Naturally, we'd use the Catwoman theme for this run. Yeah.
All right. So this one's going to be a little clip heavy, but that's because it's really fun. This first clip is called Freak and Joey.
So, what's your interest in Kay Livy, eh? Academic, purely sexual?
Homicidal.
What's up, man? I'm the freak. The Phantom Freak. The King of 9X. I got it. I know you played the game. Joey, one more dude at you and I'm gonna slap the shit out of you, okay? Now I try to save you from yourself, but you gotta stop letting your mama dress you, man. You hopeless. Check it.
I need a handle, man. I mean, I don't have an identity until I have a handle.
You know, you're right about that. Check it Friday.
Look, all right, wait. How about the Master of Disaster, huh?
You're hopeless, man. Utterly hopeless.
Ultra Laser. Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
Many issues, dialogue included, which I'm just going to go through real quick. He casually mentions the King of 9X. Anybody have any idea what that is?
Some web language or something like HTML, Java, C++, any other one of those things?
Oh,
No?
Never heard of it.
I think it was maybe in reference to how many times Joey said dude running down the stairs. I felt like he was going for Chris Tucker there with the like, you got to stop letting your mom dress you, man. It sounded very like Chris Tucker from Friday. I don't know what came out first, but Phantom Freak is a really lame name.
Yeah,
and Joey
really
suggests that he would like to go by Ultra Laser. I actually don't think that the guy that plays Phantom Freak is as bad as the guy that plays Joey, but when he comes running down the stairs saying dude, I was like, all right, we got to clip that because that's terrible.
Yeah, it's bad.
You want to move it on to our next clip called Serial Killer?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
Of all the things I've lost, I miss my mind the most.
Ozzy Osbourne.
You. What is your name?
Manuel Goldstein, sir.
You, however, are not on my list.
Whoa, this isn't woodshop class?
Class scratching, come on. Love you, we'll do lunch. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I goofed around a bit in school. Like I was never like in trouble, but like I would like, pop off jokes when I could. No one ever applauded me. Like there'd be laughter. We'd have a good laugh, but they would be like, "Yeah, wow, that was a good one."
Two things come to mind. One, the class devolved into like Grease 2 out of nowhere, where like everyone's like, "Woo!" like you said. Yeah. And the other is in Catwoman when she tells off her boss, and everybody like just applauds. Like they would do that.
Let me hit you with the remix, and then she like. Ugh.
But the reason for that clip was his delivery of "This isn't woodshop class." Like that. Yeah. Was really bad. Really, really bad.
Really bad. And I'll say this much: as a teacher, when a kid calls you sir, ironically, it is the most irritating thing on the face of the planet.
Right. He gave the hesitation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like, give me a fucking break. But yeah, usually when a kid is already... And also, did you notice the teacher was wearing shorts?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the teacher was kind of bad, too. Although I did like the line where he's like, I love you, we'll get lunch, get out. I kind of like that.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It was kind of shoved under the rug, though, because like there was so much audio going on that I might not have picked it up if it weren't for the captions. Their best writing, and they're sweeping it under. So
yeah.
Number 3 is not a clip. though we have a few more. Number 3 is Joey's mom during his arrest. She was so over the top, and the reason I think that they did it is because they needed someone with a New York accent because this movie happens in New York, and no one has a New York.
That's fair.
She's like, Joey, what did you do? You know, she sounds like Janice from Friends.
Yeah.
Like,
did you steal the gabagool?
Yeah, right. Just wanted to mention that. Number 4, and this is kind of an ancillary character, but I thought it was so bad that we need to include it. Occasionally, we're going to have to do this kind of stuff. It's like the pilot in Demolition Man at the beginning.
Yeah.
What are we doing here, anyhow? Or
anyhow.
This clip's called Margot, because that's our name.
Okay, we'll be in touch.
Hey, talk to you later.
What the hell was that all about?
I had to move fast. The hacker copied my garbage file.
What?
I created Mr. Da Vinci so we could call in the Secret Service. So they'd arrest the hacker, seize his equipment, things that we can't do on our own.
I don't want to go to jail for this.
Relax. Think about the $25 million.
But you've created a virus that's going to cause a worldwide ecological disaster just to arrest some hacker kid?
Basically, yeah.
Jesus, you know you're sick, Eugene.
I'll take care of this.
All right, sir.
I can cancel at any time. I don't need any program code, but it's the perfect cover to confiscate the disk and find out how much of that garbage file's been copied.
Get it. Why did I ever trust you? Get the file. Otherwise, you'll lose all your toys.
He sucks.
She sucks. The line delivery is totally wrong. Like the whatever the emotion that she's supposed to be going for, like tough chick, laying down the law, and it doesn't. It sounds flirtatious for some reason.
Yeah.
And then the line where she's talking about how you created a worldwide virus to take down 5 oil tankers and all to bring down a kid for some, copying a file, whatever. Like that whole line delivery was awful. Terrible.
It seems like she learned what the word ecological was and read it for the first time and then said it out loud for the first time as they shot it. Ecological.
Ecological disaster? That goes... Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, Margot, read the next passage, please.
Nice. And one more thing that I don't have in the loopholes that I literally just picked up on, but Fisher Stevens' character, the Plague, is hoping that they will seize the kid's equipment so that he can find out how much of the garbage file was copied. But also, I'm thinking once they seize the equipment, they're going to plug it in and use it and realize he didn't plant the Da Vinci Code virus. So maybe not the best idea.
Yeah.
Okay, we got 2 more clips.
Okay.
This one features Fisher Stevens himself in our clip called The Plague.
You wanted to know who I am, Zero Cool? Well, let me explain the New World Order. Governments and corporations need people like you and me. We are samurai, the keyboard cowboys, and all those other people out there who have no idea what's going on are the cattle. Moo. I need your help. You need my help. Let me help you earn your spurs. Think about it. Enjoy the laptop. Cool. Tell me where the disc is.
So many issues with that.
I hate vocal fry. Everybody does it when you're tired, if you're tired or you're speaking a little slow. But when everything comes out like this, I want to shoot myself in the head.
I agree. I totally agree.
It's like New World Order, samurai, keyboard cowboys, moo. But probably the worst part is at the very end when he, like, the whole message is over and then he's like, tell me where the disc is.
The whole thing read like a really bad improv scene. Like, here's your 2 lines you have to deliver. Please fill in as much as you can between.
Yeah, you're right. It really did have that feel.
That's where Moo came from.
We got one more clip, and it's called "I Was Zero Cool." This kind of an ensemble here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why did he come to you?
I got a record. I was zero cool.
Zero cool. Crashed 1,507 systems in one day. Biggest crash in history. Front page New York Times, August 10th, 1988. I thought you was black, man. Yo, man, this is zero cool. Oh, shit, that's far out. This is zero cool, man. Oh.
Yo, that's great. There goes MIT.
I'll make it up.
Yeah? How?
I'll hack the Gibson.
Dude, they'll trace you like that, man. The cops are gonna find you. They're gonna find you with a smoking gun.
Fucked if I care, man.
Look, even if you had the password, it'll take you 10 minutes to get in, and you still gotta find the files, man. I mean, the cops will have you in 5 minutes.
Oh, wow, we are fried.
Never send a boy to do a woman's job. With me, we can do it in 7.
Both screwed. I hope we do it in 6.
Jesus, I gotta save all your asses. I help. We could do it in 5 minutes now.
Okay, let's go shopping.
Boom!
Yahoo!
I'm going to try to move forward without displaying the boiling anger I'm feeling at that scene.
Yeah.
I've had to hear it like 3 or 4 times now.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
I hate the convenience of the 10 minutes down to 7.65 thing because in 5 minutes they'll trace you. And here's another little loophole, an on the spot loophole for you. Lord Nikon says, "I thought you was black, man," right? And he's getting all excited. There were, I don't know, like literally every media outlet in 1988 when he was on trial.
Yeah.
Taking pictures and video of this kid. It was on the front page of the New York Times, and he's got a photographic memory.
Yeah.
You're telling me that 12-year-old kid wasn't in the picture on the front page. Of course he was. So clearly he wasn't black. And that was a really cheap way to sneak in whatever they were trying to push in there. I don't really even understand it. So
we're not so different, you and I, or he and I, or that.
Right.
Yeah. I speaking of on the spot loopholes, the police are just catching up with cyber criminals now. In 1995, the police will be on you in 5 minutes. Bullshit.
They don't have a unit for that shit. They don't have they have a laptop that's this thick that has 1 meg of memory in it.
Yeah,
there's no way they could track that shit.
They'd get away with everything they wanted to. I mean, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, as we'll see. Do you guys want to mention any other scene before we move on? Because we got a couple of fun bits to do.
No, I think we covered it.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
All right, Rob, you want to do your ad read?
Yeah, I'm opening this letter now. I got something from the big folks upstairs.
Okay.
So I'm going to read this real quick, and then see. Dear Mr. Scucci, it has come to our attention that you have been taking a number of liberties when it comes to the ad reads that are handed down to you by the producers. Despite several attempts to contact management and put a stop to this, you keep not only adding superfluous information to the ad copy, but also have taken on sponsors of your own with little to no vetting whatsoever. Sparkling eggnog, sausage masseuses, designer mudflap emporiums, and literally just come in a bottle, to name a few. With that said, we will be releasing you from your responsibilities as our ad partner and providing you with recorded segments to take your place, effective immediately. We'd fire you from the show outright, but apparently you're a majority shareholder and you'd probably just take us down with you like the petty asshole you are. We tell you to keep up the good work, but literally everything you do is awful. Good day.
All right.
So I guess that's that.
Rob, I don't know if you should have read that on air.
I know. I thought it was going to be like the shit coin where it's better to do it. So I guess that frees me up to do other shit though. So I guess I'm going to write an email after this, but we'll see what they have next week, and if I have to intervene, I'll intervene.
Well, I mean, I still do appreciate you reading it though, because I got a couple nice chuckles out of that there.
Yeah. So hopefully these guys upstairs, the big wigs, I think Clear Channel bought us or something. Like you know how radio stations like do that. It's like they're like unique from state to state, but then they all play Imagine Dragons. It's kind of like that. They're probably just trying to. All right. Well. Anyway.
All right, we're gonna move on to our next segment. Bob, this is your first official segment. What he's going to do is take the 5 interesting facts, and we're going to add some fun. So, Bob, take it away with your 5-fact fun of the episode.
Yeah, I have not named this segment yet, but this is a game for you guys. I don't know if Rob, you were clued in on this or not.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I think I have something here.
Oh, nice.
Wait, no, never mind. I didn't save it. I apologize. Go on.
No wonder you got fired. Okay, now. So, in a as short as intro as I can think of, I'm going to give you 5 interesting facts that you have to dissect and find the actual fact within the list.
Oh, there is one actual fact and 4 fictional facts.
Yes, there's one.
Cool.
I have 5 total, and one of them is real. And you have to see if you guys can figure out which one it is. Okay, you ready?
Yeah,
very fun. Let's do it.
All right. So first one is Johnny Lee Miller, or Dade. He attended a rollerblade convention to help him sharpen his skills for this role.
Okay.
That's first one. Matt Lillard's hacker name, Serial, was based off a real-life hacker who went by the name Captain Crunch.
Okay.
Billy Bob Thornton, I know not in the movie, but after he saw this movie, he became obsessed with Angelina Jolie and actually suggested that his hair in Sling Blade be modeled after her hair in this movie. Okay. Fisher Stevens, otherwise known as the Plague, based this hacker character on his smarter character in Super Mario Brothers. Okay. And all of these circuitry close-ups, like all the close-ups through computers and stuff, they were not CGI. They were actually Lego reconstructions of the inside of a computer. So we have Rollerblade Convention.
Yep.
We have Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
We have Jolie's hair, Super Mario Brothers, and Legos. Which one is the real fact?
I'm feeling good about this.
Okay.
Rob, do you want to say it at the same time?
I've got to narrow down to 2. Yeah, you want to count down? We'll do a 3, 2, 1, and then give me one. Yeah, let's do it. 3, 2, 1, then we'll say it.
Okay.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Captain Crunch.
Lego.
Oh, okay. So we went different.
I was torn between Captain Crunch and Lego, but I thought the Lego, like I thought about it. I was like, yeah, it kind of does look like Lego. So.
No, it was Captain Crunch. Good job, Chris.
Yeah. All right.
We need an applause sound effect. We need game show sound effects for this segment. I'll have to send you what I can find. Yeah, a friend of mine actually listened to the podcast episode that summarized was the what was it called, that the March Badness episode.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he said not enough sound effects, and I joked with him because his podcast has too many sound effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you do want to strike a balance, I think.
I think so.
Anyway,
I think we tread that line pretty well.
Yeah, Captain Crunch was real. I was close on one of them. He did attend a hacker convention, not a rollerblade convention. But my God, that was too easy. Rollerblade. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And another one was, you were close, Rob, because the director did not want to make anything CGI inside of a computer. So those were models. They just were definitely not Legos.
Got it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some graphic stuff later. But I didn't think it was all that bad.
No, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there were some cool things. But yeah, we'll get into that later. Okay, so we're going to go on to test number 5, which is now our last test in an effort to keep this a commuter's pod.
Yes.
We're going to just kind of do all the loopholes included into our new segment, the catch-all, which will have all of that. We're going to lightning round it all. We don't worry, we still got your shit coin coming up, a couple more fun segments, and then we will not compare the movie because we've got nothing to compare it to yet.
Yes.
But yeah, let's do test number 5, which is the most offensive. And what we do here is point out all of the things in the movie that are really offensive.
Okay.
That could be racism, homophobia, sexism, all sorts of stuff. And, it's all there for most of these movies.
Yeah.
So let's do test number 5, the most offensive.
Damn it! I am tired of being Santa Claus! You get your together and you get your ass in the damn car. We're going. Now, damn it!
Okay. Okay, I'm just going to tear through. Oh, hey, kitty. I'm just going to tear through these. And you guys stop me if you so desire. And at the end, of course, we're going to ask you for mentions if anything you thought of that I didn't. Dade's mother speculates about his chronic masturbation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty weird. Yeah, just not something I'd be discussing with my friend on the phone about my son.
Yeah.
The roof pull trick is pretty mean by Kate. Yeah. You know, I know it's a high school kind of thing, but here's one more thing I wanted to say about that. One of the 12 guys that's stuck on the roof should just stand by the fucking door. So when somebody opens it, you can just grab the door.
Yeah.
That's moronic. Number 3, Zero Cool wants to literally murder Kate.
Yeah.
I mean, he has, not only does he say it, which could have been interpreted as just a funny little line, but he actually has a flashing image of his head of a man strangling a woman. So the intention seems serious. That's a good score for a girl, he says.
Yeah.
Did we need to see Joey's ass? He's 15.
Yeah.
When he gets arrested, he jumps at the computer and his towel falls off and we see his bare butt. And I was just why?
Yeah.
You know what though? Can I just jump in? Age being the exception, someone who's completely naked being tackled by the police is kind of funny.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, just not a 15-year-old.
Right. Yeah, we don't want to see that.
Yeah.
They showed a high schooler's boob, so I know Angelina Jolie is out of high school at this point, but we do get a shot of her boob. And boobs at one point when she's in her house in a see-through top for some reason.
Yeah, that was weird.
Didn't really understand that, but it's kind of Grease 2, only in Grease 2 we actually don't see any nudity because we're under the assumption that these are high schoolers who really not you don't want to.
Yeah.
Number 7, Lord Nikon has all of Lisa Blair's information.
Yeah.
Right.
This is where we find out he has a photographic memory, I think.
Yeah.
But he's it's a very creepy stalker level of information he's got on this girl who doesn't know he exists.
Yeah.
I thought the AA meeting was in poor taste. I'm assuming it was an Alcoholics Anonymous class.
It was AA or NA probably.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
it could have been. But what's he doing there?
I have read about that where they called it an internet addiction. So he was trying to get off on a technicality by being addicted to the internet and getting a shorter sentence, I think. So I've never seen it in real life. I've seen it in other movies and other shows where they kind of do something like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense though. And it is offensive.
Right. Despite the gender fluid dressing, they still actually do make trans jokes in the movie.
Yeah.
Which are
tasteless. Yes.
Number 10, acid burn tricks Crash with rubber bra and panties instead of the dress that she, when he's walking through the hallway, she's opens up the locker this is what you're going to wear on our date if you lose.
Yeah.
I would object. That's not what we agreed on. How many guns do you need to arrest an unarmed high schooler?
If we're going by today's standards, 30 or 40.
Yeah, that's all right there.
And they went into a bathroom while he was showering.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Gross. Yeah. And my last one, serial killer administering oral copulation under the desk of that secretary. At least that was the implication.
While his ass was hanging out also.
Yes.
Right.
Again, he's a high schooler.
Yeah.
That's true. Two things you didn't mention real quick. She right at the beginning, Dade's mom was like, "You like girls, don't you?" Like insinuating anything else would be disgusting.
Okay,
and also they were for being a New York City school. I think I counted like maybe 3 black students, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Lord
it just seemed
not
unbalanced.
in the school, right? Like he graduated. Lord Nikon graduated already. I think we don't see him in the high school, right?
Oh, I think right. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was out.
So Phantom Freak, maybe I don't know exactly what his ethnicity was.
Yeah,
I made a clear like look at the background characters and all the scenes.
Like
I'm
classroom.
I'm like, it's a lot of white students.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm writing that down now because I want to add to the score so that we can compare it next week. So that Rob, unless you have anything that gives us our score, do you have something you want to throw in there?
Just it's not really like with dialogue or anything, but the fact that like I don't like the outfit or the uniform, that whole thing where it's like I've grown up in a way where. You know those people that they always want to be weird and like look different and like they wear like a uniform, like whether you're punk or whether you're like a hacker or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you're a good hacker, I guess it offended my sensibilities in the sense like if you're a hacker, if you're trying to do this crazy shit and be discreet, you wouldn't dress like that. You would wear plain clothes. You would wear jeans and a t-shirt. You would blend in. You would blend in. You'd go home. You do your crazy shit, and no one eats that much candy. Just because you're into computer doesn't mean you eat Laffy Taffy like 5 pounds of it every 3 hours.
Yeah. That's I mean that was like them grasping for an even younger audience than they should be going for, you know. All right, so we'll count that as 15 because I feel like that is an insulting to our intelligence kind of moment. Like, so I agree. I wrote down 15. Let's move on to the shitcoin before we do the catch-all, and then we're going to do 2 segments. One that is relatively new, and one that is brand new. After that. So let's do the shitcoin, which is a segment where Rob and I we portray the person trying to sell us Bitcoin on Instagram talking to me. I talk back. I will be reading what I said back to them after the bumper.
All right, sounds good. Here we go. All right, and I am, as per tradition, pulling up the messages now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So we don't have any dead air.
All right. So I'm just going to go into this is Charlie X Walker. Hey, XX. Hope you're well. Sorry for my random approach. I'm reaching out because you seem to be a sharp, open-minded person. Obviously, don't know if you've been affected financially right now due to the global pandemic, but are you open to making extra money by remotely online via smartphone right now? If you're interested, DM how. Yeah.
How would I do that?
Okay, I'm going to explain X. This process is all about investing X. It's a very quick and simple process which takes only 20 to 35 minutes to see your results. We use the world remit to do all transactions. So say, for instance, you invest 399, is that quid? Euro? Whatever. Fuck it.
I don't know.
We're going to place that in our system for a couple minutes and have it multiplied to 12,599. And have it sent back to your name through World Remit or a bank transfer to your account for you to claim it. This process is 100% legit and legal. We are also partners with the BBB, which is the Better Business Bureau, and the IRS to assure you that everything is guaranteed XX.
How does it multiply? Like, that's quite a return.
I liked that. This is how it works. We pool investors' funds worldwide and invest in daily and profitable multi-million-dollar investments such as betting, sports, house foreclosure, trading, stocks, etc., and give investors a percentage of the profit. Because our company is generating billions of dollars by doing this, we are able to turn your hundreds into thousands easily, X. So after you receive your investment, you're going to send me back my cut. That's only 15% out of your 12,599, X.
Where are you from?
I'm from Brighton, UK, X. Where are you from?
Mobile, Alabama, home of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Okay, X.
How old are you?
Which currency do you use, X? USA? Euros? Pound?
I like to trade in animal hides when I can, but when I must, I use gold. Chits. Okay. I have 62 chits. It's a currency native to my bayou.
Are you interested to make extra money?
Are you interested in goat or marmot hide? High quality used in Fashion Week on the New York fashion floor.
No, I'm not.
Oh, so it's the gold you'll be wanting.
No.
You don't trade for gold? What are you, an alien? Gold holds its value, lassie. You want American currency? I can bring the gold down to Buck at the local 5 and dime, see what he'll give me. How much do I need?
$350 to $11,300. Do you have 350 US dollars?
That's gotta be 100 possum hides at least. Buck won't take one less. How long do I have to gather it together? Question mark. Times 10. I gotta move, Missy. Give me the deets.
Are you from USA?
Proud Bayou boy, right here in Toronto, Louisiana.
How much USD do you have now, X?
63,000, roughly. But it's all in a chest I keep on Gator Lake Island in the swamp near my shed.
I don't understand. Nothing are you saying?
And if a frog had legs, he wouldn't bump his ass a hop. Then she just never messaged me back.
Okay. My favorite part about this bit, I'm learning, is you're writing these with the voices in mind, and they don't hear the voice.
No, they do not, but I got to perform for the audience. All right?
No, I get that, but it's just funnier because they're just sitting in a dark room on their phone, probably.
Yeah.
Going like, what the
reading
fuck
reading it in their voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really funny. All right, we're going to move on to the catch-all, and I'm gonna push us through this one quick because we got a couple more things to do after that.
All right.
So this now encompasses all of the tropes that we notice, bad graphics that we need to mention. It's okay that we have 5 tests now because 5-7 is still an odd number that gives us a nice way to compare them. So it'll also have the loopholes that we've noticed. So I'm just going to go through mine. Stop me when you want. And then at the end, if you guys have anything you want to add, any notes that you took or whatever that you have on you, fire away. So I'm going to jump into it right now in the catch-all.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Thank you for that. Terrible slow-mo in this movie.
Yeah.
I actually did really like, and I said I was going to mention this earlier, but I really thought it was kind of cool how they went from the city of New York to the circuit board.
I liked it. It was surreal. Like there was like a surrealist vibe to it that I really liked. Like just visually,
it was cool because it was like a helicopter shot over the city. Yeah. So all the skyscrapers became like the things on the motherboard and the circuits going through it, whatever. The graphics weren't necessarily great, but
yeah, I didn't mind the circuit board. I minded the random clips of like old TV shows and movies. That drove me crazy.
That was that's a really good point because why like these teens don't care about that at all.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a typical New York transplant movie. I had a problem with the payphones in the high school. Was that everything?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Our high school had 3 of them, like on the bottom floor near like the between like the gym and the band room. There were a few payphones.
No shit.
Yeah.
Never noticed, or I did, and I totally forgot.
When I was on the swim team, I used to call for my rides home by making collect calls, but with the intention of my parents never picking up the tab. They would get a call from pick me up, and they would never they wouldn't accept the charges.
Nice. Would you accept a call from pick me up at the school? Yeah,
exactly.
Right. He's good at games, so obviously he's a super hacker.
Yeah.
Just a credentialing moment that was really lame. Motorcycle equals cool guy.
Yeah.
There must be, and we kind of said this already, but there must not have been many classrooms, students, or hallways in this high school because every time there's a shot in the hallway, every important character is in that hallway.
Yeah.
And I felt that way about the classroom too, but then we came to find out that serial killer wasn't in the class. He just desperately wanted to sneak into English.
Yeah.
Your movie has an issue when you're ripping off the Foot Clan clubhouse from Terminator 2 or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Yeah.
That's a problem. That micro circuit universe is not a thing. So they're constantly showing it like that exists somewhere. All of these like graphics of like code running through on these like holographic, I guess. You know what I'm talking about? The like pillars of code and stuff that definitely don't exist anywhere.
Right.
That bugged me. God, and we said this too, but God was the entire password into the Gibson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This thing that nobody can hack into.
Yeah.
Give me a break. The Plague on a skateboard was hilarious. When he grabs the floppy disk from Zero Cool, one of my favorite moments of the 33 bad movies we've watched so far. 34.
Yeah.
It was just that is why I'm doing the pod personally for stuff like that. He's getting pulled by like a limo or something on a skateboard and just comes by, just snaps the fucking floppy disk out of his hand. It keeps going.
I would love to see him just like bite it on a whole bunch of trash cans that he just like lost control on. That would have made it.
Yeah. The air vent hiding spot is not only is it a trope, but it's also a loophole because the Secret Service wouldn't have looked there.
Yeah.
Really? Like that's the first place that people hide shit, if not under the pillow. The virus graphics are really lame. The like Da Vinci thing.
Yeah.
Also, was that a paid actor? Like, did the Plague hire a guy to do that, or did he like create that human-looking virus thing? I'm wondering.
I don't know. It's
because I mean, even when like the virus died, he's like I forget what he said, but the virus actually says like, "Oh no," or something, like as it dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's 1995. Like the things going across the screens, especially on the kids' computers.
Yeah,
it's gonna be boxes of text scrolling up. That's all it's gonna be. There's no animated like fonts coming in. Like those screens cannot render those images.
No, exactly.
Right.
And definitely not directly from typing.
No.
What do we get now? 3 dots. We
exactly.
We still don't get live feeds.
Yeah.
No, very lame. Fresh paint on a keyboard for a speed competition seems like a really bad idea.
Yeah,
like it's not going to make your keys like kind of goopy.
it's gonna fry the circuitry. Any moisture that gets in your computer while it's on is gonna spark the motherboard. Like I don't know shit about computers, and I know that it's just gonna fry it.
Why did the waiter cut his card in half when it didn't work? That's not what they do.
No, it's not.
Comes over and he says, do you have another card? I'm sorry, this one was declined, or do you want me to give it another shot? He doesn't literally cut your card in half at the table.
Well, I worked retail in that exact year, and all they ever would tell us to do is take the card. You would never cut it in front of somebody.
Yeah,
it seemed like such a bitchy move by the waiter.
Yeah.
The worst thing they do is say, "I'm sorry, we were instructed to take your card." That's it.
Yeah.
And even then, I mean, come on.
It was for the dramatic look, I guess, to make make him look depressed and embarrassed.
And I love how he had the giant pair of scissors too.
Yeah,
like he was opening up a Sears or something. The mayor came to open up a fucking Sears.
Yeah, right. The score was 60-60. I didn't understand where they got like the numbers from. How do you score points in that kind of competition?
Yeah, good point.
I don't know.
I think they just wanted to visualize it and then hope no one would look into it like 30 years later.
Yeah, no doubt. There's a show. I think it still runs on ESPN. I just don't watch ESPN anymore. It's called Around the Horn, and it's up to the host of the show to decide how many points you get, basically for the point that you're making.
Yeah,
like he's supposed to be an impartial, judge who just gives you points based on how good your point is.
Yeah.
So maybe it worked like that, but I doubt it. Why are there cops and locker rooms in the boys' bathroom? Was that a thing?
Locker rooms in the boys' bathroom?
Yeah, because Angelina Jolie goes into the boys' bathroom to get the disc that Phantom Freak had gummed to the back of a locker.
That's right.
And there's two cops in there too.
In our high school, we did have the by the pool. Like you go through the gymnasium, you go to the locker room, and there's a back exit to the pool area, and there were lockers and showers, and but I don't know if that was
true.
The cops, and that reminds me of my line that I forgot to mention when you did bad dialogue.
Oh,
when she found that disc, it's because he told her it's in that place where I put that thing that time.
Yeah, right. Because he was in prison, right? So he wanted to be discreet. Like she's gonna know what that is.
Yeah.
The cover, your loved one with a blanket trope, showed up in this one, where he like finds out his mother is like now being charged with all these crimes and stuff because the plague hacked the file. So he comes out and he's like, "I love you," but doesn't say anything. He just like covers her in a blanket.
Yeah,
it's just supposed to make him like a good, really good guy. The work program is regrettably later taken by Office Space. Office Space comes later, but it's a good movie. And, it's probably a real thing where you're just chopping off a little, a percentage of every transaction that happens. But that's what the Worm program was, and it reminded me of Office Space, and that made me sad.
They did it in Superman. Was that the quote in Office Space? Like, every time they try to justify.
Probably. They probably jacked it from Superman.
Superman 3 might make our show.
We should throw it on there.
Yeah. I was going to say something else on that, but I forgot. So the launch or cancel graphic was really bad.
Yeah.
Like when he's deciding whether or not he's going to launch the Da Vinci virus, looks terrible. It looks like a PlayStation 1 game. The corporate computer room just had me laughing, like every time they were in there. Where it's got, it looks like a scene from like a vampire museum in Blade. Like there's all these like tall glass walls that have like code running, just like the inside of what they assume a computer looks like in the weird world of the director.
Yeah. It was like season 3 or 4 of Stranger Things when they're like trying to close up the portal to like the upside down or whatever.
Yeah.
Where it's just like it's just like graphics in front of you in a huge hole and like all the control centers and all that.
Yeah. It's obviously it's supposed to look really cool, but it looks like what's his face from the Power Rangers, like Zorg or whatever. It looks
Zordon,
Zordon's lair or something. You know what had me laughing, guys? I want to see if this is true for you too. But when they're all hacking in Grand Central and Zero Cool puts on that headset, the headset had me laughing for sure. It looks so bad, and I don't know what it's supposed to do.
I don't know.
There's no explanation for it.
No, there never is.
And on that note, if you take every phone booth in the lower level of Grand Central, on like all of you, a New Yorker is going to punch you.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, especially if you're a bunch of fucking nerds.
Yeah, they're not going to be afraid.
They're just gonna roll your ass and take your phone call.
Like even the big guy has ponytails. I think it'll be fun.
He has pigtails.
Pigtails. Yeah. They hacked all of Earth's TV at the end.
Yeah.
Let's make out underwater. By the way, where did their clothes go? Because they come back up from the underwater and like they're in like underwear, and there's no like they pan out, no clothes anywhere. Not in the pool, not off the side of the pool. There's no clothes.
Yeah. There's a lot of things like that, I'll have to say, in this movie.
Yeah, definitely. Lastly for me, and then if you guys want to add anything, Richard Gill was just doing his job, and I don't think he deserved what he got.
Yeah,
I know that they're against him because he's the Secret Service guy who's like trying to bust them, but like he's just doing his job.
He's literally doing what he thinks is right and fulfilling a duty to protect people from an evil force that he doesn't understand.
Exactly. And it's not necessarily the kids that I'm mad at. I'm mad at the people who decided that they were going to make him a bad guy in the movie because he doesn't even do anything that makes you dislike him, but they're giving him like his comeuppance, until the very end when he arrest Fisher Stevens, but he goes through a lot of pain for our pleasure, and I just wasn't feeling the pleasure because they didn't make him a bad guy. So,
and he's literally trying to catch hackers, and in his defense, all of the hackers are doing bad things. He's just trying to stop them.
Right. Hacking and what most kids don't realize, I think, is hacking is completely illegal. Yeah. And not just illegal, but it is generally not for the benefit of almost anybody. But that's the thing. They did give him his reward at the end, and that was supposed to make you forgive everything that happened to him earlier in the movie, which is almost, laughable.
It ain't right. I mean, they gave him 113 traffic violations, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going away forever.
Yeah. Bad personal ads, cut up cards.
Yeah, that's true. That's where some of the homophobia creeps in there.
Yes.
All right, let's. Do you guys want to say anything else?
I think we covered it. The only thing that really bothered me was, like you said, there were a lot of inconsistencies with like the pool and the clothes coming off, and I think there was even a scene, I have to go back and double check, where the rollerblades are on the feet, like passing through the door, but once the camera switched angles, he was holding his blades and walking. On that subject, that I'm sure that's true, because when they go into the train, they show up to the train on rollerblades, and then there are no rollerblades. There's just shoes. So we are to assume that they either left them at the train station or they forgot they rollerbladed there. Yeah.
So there's that. Bob, you got anything, or you want to do the new segment?
Yeah, the new segment kind of links directly to what Rob was saying.
Okay, so let me just introduce it then. What do you think of calling it the worst production?
Sure,
I like it
because it goes right with the theme. So Bob is going to give us, well, why don't you tell us, Bob, so that I don't.
So it's. I mean, there were, aside from trying to keep it separate from every other test. It's just general production value. Sometimes overall, like an umbrella production that something that plagued the entire movie that dragged it down, or something specific that was just so egregious that it needs pointed out. In this case, it was more of a general overall.
Okay.
I noticed that. So in general, the editing and the pacing was intentionally fast and confusing, and yes, it moved the story forward, Rob.
Yeah,
but it only served to eliminate the complete observation of all loopholes, inconsistencies, and junk science.
Yeah, I watched this close to midnight, and then I was kind of thinking more like you are now when after I texted you guys saying the pacing is what made it good.
That's exactly what I was referring to. So the pacing did keep it going forward, but it totally, the intention of it was just like a kid's show. Like it makes you not worry about all the details that are obvious loopholes.
Right.
And then something else to kind of piggyback onto that. Nobody generally cares about junk science when the junk science is a computer inconsistency, because every computer inconsistency, when you defend it, it just sounds like you're a complete nerd.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
If you're like, no, she was on an Apple laptop. An Apple laptop doesn't use Pentium processors. I mean, anytime you mention something, it's gonna sound like you're being a nerd. So
you're trying to prove how smart you are right now to me.
So I'll give them credit for getting away with that.
Yeah, nice active subterfuge there.
Because you got to use the whole like push up your glasses. Like clearly they were using the word clearly is gonna clearly like every time.
Exactly. So it's gonna. I think I really had to dig a little bit for this one, because overall, the production was. I didn't like the fact that they did use pretty much the same 20 extras for every scene. Yeah. Because every scene that involved extras were high school kids, or should I say quote unquote high school kids. And you could put them in the club, you could put them on the street, you could put them in the school. And as long as they're in different outfits, they're pretty much different kids.
Yeah.
So, and like you said, every scene in the high school was the same key characters all in the same place. Same with the extras. It was all the same extras every time.
Yeah.
So I'll give them a little bit of a downgrade for using the budget in that way, because I know for a fact, as being an extra once myself, I know that all that stuff costs a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I was paid not that much, but I was paid enough for the very paltry amount of work I did, and the 3 seconds of screen time I actually got in final editing, that I know a production can cost a lot. So I'll give them credit for using their resources, to the best. But yeah, it was definitely cheap. I'm not sure what the budget was. I should look into that next time.
20 million.
Ouch.
20?
Yeah, it was 20 million.
Yeah.
And there were no names in that. There were no big names in that movie at all. Like, none.
No, not really.
Honestly, like, Jolie wasn't big yet, right? I mean, even Lillard wasn't. Scream had to happen. So Fisher Stevens was literally the biggest name, and he had just come off of Super Mario Brothers. So.
The only person I recognized was Penn Jillette.
Yeah, right.
The entire film, aside from like Matthew Lillard. Yeah.
And at the time, he was still novel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't have his own reality show yet.
Yeah.
True. So, Bob, I wrote down editing fast and confusing intentionally, distracted from flaws, and then 20 same extras. And we're going to use that as our measuring stick for next week.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you for doing that for me. Well, I'll try to do that for you next time.
Yeah, no worries. I'm happy to do it next week. It's no big deal. The next thing we're going to do before we get into bad credit names is throw it to Rob for his alternate ending of the week.
Okay, so here's what happens. They're doing all this stuff to stop the guy, right? I'm doing a reverse Batman, first of all. In Batman the Dark Knight, I was saying the whole tech thing kind of annoyed me, so they should get a bunch of. Actually, no, it's the same thing as the Dark Knight. The tech thing annoyed me. They could have just gotten a bunch of people with guns to run it. These hacker kids, they go online. They hack the FBI and the CIA. They say frickin' Night Pain. What's his name? The Plague. They say the Plague is doing all the stuff. Change his file. They go in. They shoot the computers. They shoot him. It's over. Done. No third act.
Yeah. All right. I like it. I like that ending a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it especially that you call the Plague the Night Pain.
The Night Pain. Yeah, I ground up. My name's Night Pain.
Well, they clearly had the capability to, change his files around with not much issue. So I don't know why they didn't just do that. Yeah,
it's like go straight for the guy. Like, just use his game against him. And the whole thing with like hacker movies that always, it kind of tracks where like people that end up hacking things they shouldn't be hacking end up working for that industry to help them find security loopholes. Like like the payroll company I worked at they hired some guy to code the checks so they wouldn't get like unencrypted, like on the direct deposits and stuff like that. It's a thing that happens. So like couldn't one of these kids get hired and like another alternate ending? They get hired and then they just fucking like grab the worm thing and then steal the money for themselves.
That's what I feel like they should have done.
Yeah,
they should have like stolen the money. Found a way to get like that would have been a better payoff at the end if they found a way to like just take the funds from the worm and like it just disappears. Nobody knows where the money went.
They're at a beach, crystal clear, like blue water, and Matthew Lillard's got his legs propped up. He's got a beer. He sees some chick in a bikini. He's like, "Yeah, look at that pooper!" And then they roll the credits.
and then there's what's his face with the stapler from
Milton,
and then Morgan Freeman comes up like fresh off the bus from Shawshank Redemption.
They all meet.
All right,
that's that.
Let's do bad credit names.
Okay.
I am going to ramp these up, obviously, starting with Penn Jillette. I know he's very famous. We know who he is, but his name is Penn Jillette, and I feel like it's one of those names you hear enough that you don't realize how weird it is. Pretty weird name.
Because you have a Bic, and then you which is a pen, and you have like a razor.
Yeah. Bob Last.
Okay.
Crocus Bever.
That's a good one.
Love that band.
Penny Skuse.
Okay.
Paul Tuff.
Okay.
Mike Proudfoot. And
All
then
right.
I hear because it's me. I hear in the Lord of the Rings movie, Proudfeet. John Biggles Higgins.
That's my favorite so far.
Biggles is his nickname.
Biggles Higgins.
John Frankish. He's a John, but he's a little more like a Frank.
A little more Frank.
He's Frankish.
This one might be my favorite. I got 3 more, but Toby Inwards.
Okay.
Just never heard Inwards as the last name.
Nah.
Joe Human. Now there's a person in Men in Black.
Yeah. Like his surname's his identity. Yeah.
And finally, of course, because we are at our juvenile podcast, Matthew Cock.
Yep.
K-O-K, Matthew Cock.
That's the winner.
It's not Cox is the problem. Like Cox, I've heard a million times. If it was Cox, I wouldn't have put it up there.
Yeah.
But it's a K and not an X. All right, so we're not doing a comparison this week. So I have all the scores, but we'll go through them next week when we have something to compare it to.
Yeah.
There's no point in doing it now. Rob, you want to mention the website?
Yeah. theworstmovieevermade.com. Everything's there. The streaming, the email, the Twitter, the TikTok, the romance, the mystique, the pursuit of the worst movie ever made. Theworstmovieevermade.com.
Wow, really nice clothes.
Yeah.
I will do one more. Welcome aboard, Bob from think_in_movie_scenes on Instagram. I don't want to forget to mention, but you are a part of the team, and we are just so very happy to have you. So thanks for joining us.
Woo!
I'm happy to be here. I forgot, just because you didn't mention it. What did the poll say for next week?
Oh yeah, let me look because it's not over yet. I appreciate you asking because we need to know, don't we?
Last I checked, my choice was ahead, and I'm happy with that.
You're way ahead. It is so on Instagram. You're at 79% of the vote with 30. And there were 3 votes on Twitter for Spawn, and I got nothing else. And then nobody voted on Facebook because I have no following on Facebook anymore. So it was kind of just a sweep for Spawn. So next week, thank you for saying, Bob. We are doing Spawn. That was 97?
Yes.
Yeah, I think 97.
So. Okay, that's a really bad movie. I can't wait to do that one. And I just wanted to, before we close out, thank you, listeners. Again, we love you. We appreciate you coming and joining us every week.
I'm going to cut that out.